Earlier this month, I made a video on 90 Day Fiance's new mega creep, the broke, homeless, cheating, and now possibly diseased Loren. In that video, we covered episode 1, where we learned of his unusual sexual preferences, constant cheating on his partner, and his delusional plans of moving to the Philippines to live like a king and sleep with every ladyboy in the country.
I don't know if she fully understands that I haven't been monogamous. Hopefully it's okay.
But fortunately, or unfortunately for all of us, the Loren saga continues. Today, we'll be covering episodes 2 through 4, where he and Faith first meet, Loren demonstrates a wild amount of delusion and ignorance, and he reveals to us that not only has he been cheating on Faith this whole time, but now be paying the price for it with an STD.
Which means I most likely have.
So, let's get into it. We catch up with Loren and Faith halfway through episode 2, where Loren has finally arrived in the Philippines to be with his partner Faith. We see Faith getting ready, putting on a bunch of makeup.
In 20 minutes from his to her.
And as Faith is getting ready, she reminds us that not only is she nervous to meet a partner that is flying across the world to meet her in person for the first time, but she's a little bit extra nervous because this is her first real boyfriend. And after a long history of trying to get with guys only to find out that they either sexualize the fact that she's trans or dump her immediately as soon as they find out, Faith is very anxious to see if that will all change with Loren and he really is the good guy he claims to be.
I'm scared to have my heart broken. So I really hope that Loren is who I think he is.
He's not, but she doesn't know that yet. Meanwhile, Loren has finally landed, and as he awkwardly shuffles out of the airport in his Crocs, he reminds us that this is a really big deal for him too.
I'm not coming to the Philippines to hang out with my girlfriend. I'm coming to finalize a long-term relationship, which will lead to marriage.
Long term? They haven't even been together 6 months. But after all the anticipation, Loren rounds the corner, sees Faith, and the two of them embrace. If you've watched my videos before, you know that even if I don't like a person or don't get the best impression from them on camera, I usually still find the reunion with their partner at the airport a pretty cute scene. Just the raw emotion of the moment I still find sweet. But somehow, I'm just not feeling that with Loren and Faith. Somehow, even when the two of them are hugging, you can still kinda see Loren's face, and it somehow still looks like he's sniffing her hair as if he wants to take some and reanimate her corpse litter. You know what I mean? It's just kinda creepy. But what do I know? Because Faith is happy, she feels accepted that she can be out in public with someone who accepts that she's trans and not feel embarrassed. And Loren is, I don't know. I mean, he's smiling, but can never tell what really is going on inside Loren. But it seems like things went well, and as the episode ends, Faith even does a little magic trick for Loren.
Abracadabra. Simsalagri. Alakasam. This is for you.
She's a part-time magician. Did I mention that? Okay, and with that out of the way, it's finally time to get to the very juicy episode 3, and man, he even looks like a freaking maniac in his intro. Doesn't that face just look like someone with a really evil, dastardly plan? The two of them are in a taxi to go back to a hotel, while Loren tells Faith, the girl that would like to take things slow, that he's excited to be going on a date with her every single day while he's here.
We have a date tomorrow, a date the next day, a date the next day.
And already, we're at one of the major cruxes of the matter with their relationship, which is, Faith has said repeatedly that she would like to take things slowly, make sure that everyone is in the relationship for the right reasons, and allow Faith to develop a trust naturally with Loren.
I told Loren I want to make sure I love him enough before we go to sex.
Loren is aware of this and tells us that he understands and respects even that Faith wants to take things slowly, but as we'll see on multiple occasions throughout these 2 episodes, his actions tell a different story.
Faith seems a little shy physically, but I'm hoping that soon she'll warm up to me and everything will be great because I'm super attracted to her and I can't wait to get closer to her.
I guess. I mean, it's fine to be attracted to your partner, but when you're being told that she wants to take things slowly and not rush into anything physically, for you to then say that you just can't wait for her to warm up because you're basically so horny for her.
But I'm hoping that soon she'll warm up to me because I'm super attracted to her.
That just doesn't sound like you're really understanding and respecting that she wants to take things slowly. After the car ride, the two of them arrive to the hotel where they'll be staying at, which is also the hotel that Faith works at as a day job, which is convenience. I'm sure she's got a good discount. but may also be kind of awkward when Loren is inevitably found out to be the big creep he is, in my opinion. And as the two of them go up to Loren's single room, where he'll be staying by himself, Faith tells us again that she would like to take things slow.
I want to wait until Loren and I really trust each other before we have sex.
You know, I might as well start keeping a tally of all the times Faith has said something like this so far, just so that when Loren inevitably pushes her boundaries, we have some more evidence of just how much of a piece of shit he is. The two of them go out on a date night on the town, getting some food at a local night market. The two of them get some bone marrow soup, looks delicious, and the two of them talk a bit about Faith's past experiences. Loren asks Faith if this is the first time she's ever been on a date with someone that she met online, and Faith explains that, yes, this is the first date, but that in her experience, most of the time online, she'll match with some kind of international guy who quickly says I love you to Faith, only to then later find out that she's trans, and then immediately get disgusted and block her.
Then after that, yeah, they block it. Oh, you're a lady boy. You look like a woman, but I don't like lady boy.
But Loren assures her that he likes her for the whole deal.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Which, given what Loren has said earlier, it's hard not to hear whole deal and not think that he's really just referring to Faith's penis.
Preferably penis, because a penis is much more fun to play with, as long as it's female.
But despite the good vibe that they're having on this date,
We only have a limited time to really get to know each other. So we kind of have to speed things up a little bit.
Faith tells Loren again that she would like to take things slow, that this is her first relationship, she wants to do things right.
I want to take it slow because this is my first boyfriend. This is the first relationship that I have. So that's why my fear is to a heartbroken.
And Loren again says what he's supposed to say, which is that he's okay with taking it as slow as she wants.
That's why I'm okay with taking it slow as you need to go.
While he repeatedly looks at the camera while he says it, as if he's reading off cue cards or something. And that he doesn't want Faith to feel pressured to do anything that she doesn't want to do.
Right? We don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
after 20 days, we have to have an idea. Right? Right? That's how long we have. Literally. You have 20 days.
so I'm okay with taking it slow, and I don't want you to feel pressured, but also we don't have a lot of time, so you gotta hurry the shit up. Yeah, that's not what not pressuring someone looks like.
Right?
And as the two of them leaves, Loren clarifies to us in a one-on-one how important it is to him that they figure out their sexual compatibility as soon as possible.
I understand wanting to take it slow, but we are on a tight timeline to plan our next few steps together. It's important to find out sooner rather than later if we're sexually compatible.
Before we get to episode 4, I just gotta say how much of a piece of shit I already think he is. Of course, this is edited and I can't know his true intentions yet, but from everything we've seen so far, we really gotta look out for people like this. People who pay a lot of lip service to pretending to understand an idea and to trying to convince everybody that they're on the right side of a topic, when, if you look at their actions, it completely disagrees with all the bullshit they're spewing. Kind of reminds me when some celebrity or famous YouTuber has to make their inevitable apology video for doing some dumb shit online, and they announce to the world in very dramatic fashion how apologetic they are and how they're done a lot of reflecting and taking accountability for their actions. But then they spend the rest of the video defending themselves, making excuses, and basically doing anything except actually taking accountability for their actions. Because here we have Loren saying repeatedly to Faith that he understands her wanting to take it slow, he doesn't want her to feel pressured, he's totally on board with that. But then if we look at his actions, or even everything he has said directly after saying, I understand you want to take it slow, then we see completely conflicting information.
That's why I'm okay with taking it slow as you need to go. I went all the way to the Philippines to be alone. Is that what you're saying? But after 20 days, we have to have an idea. Right? Right? That's how long we have. Literally. You have 20 days.
Also, it just feels weird that Loren has to beeline straight to the physicality and the sex stuff, especially after Faith's insistence that they take things slow, and only seems to mention romance and emotional stuff as an afterthought.
So I really hope Faith warms up to me soon. Because we have to get to know each other physically, romantically, emotionally, all of it.
But, you know, maybe I was jumping to conclusions a little too quickly with Loren. Because in the next episode, Loren wakes up in his own room, and after a good night's sleep, he actually wakes up and realizes that he's actually been a little overzealous in his excitement, and tells us that he's going to slow down with Faith a bit and respect her boundaries more. No, of course he didn't say that. He wants to bang.
My first morning in the Philippines. Of course I would have preferred to wake up with Faith in my arms, but it was our first date, first night. Totally fine that she's in her own room and I'm in my own room, but today's a new day. We're gonna get to know each other more, and who knows what happens tonight.
That's not respecting her boundaries and taking it slow, Loren. That's just, come on, man. I just can't cut him any slack. You can't say it's okay to take it slow and then in every other breath keep wishing about how you want it to go faster and, well, you never know. Maybe tonight will be that. Just actually take it slow. Let her come to you. Anyway, before they hit the town again tonight, Loren needs to exchange some of his American money to Filipino pesos, which is where Faith discovers that Loren only has about $45 to his name.
Like 45, 46?
Is this all you have for this trip into the Philippines?
Now, Faith says that she's not after Loren for his money, but she is a little confused as to how this guy, who seems to work all the time and spend his money pretty lavishly in America, only has enough money to his name to last about 4 days here in the Philippines.
I'm not with Loren for his money, but Loren seems like he's always working, so it doesn't make sense for him to have so little.
This might be a good time to remind you all that we all know that Loren is broke and homeless, but Faith doesn't. We then get this scene where the two of them are in a car together to go to a day market where they can go out and get stuff. And Faith is explaining to Loren that they have some street food and a bunch of bargain shops and it's pretty cheap to shop there. But Loren, despite having just revealed that he only has about $45, tries to kind of flex his non-existent wealth with her and is like, hey baby, you need anything on the market? I got you, I got some money.
Is there anything you want at the market? Because I have some money.
Faith hesitates at that because she knows that Loren is gonna run out of money in a maximum of 4 days. But Loren still seems to think that he's rich.
Yeah, let's see. Because we need to budget your money.
Whatever you want.
He's trying to flex his wealth and impress a lady. That only works when the lady doesn't know that you're lying about how much you have. But that wasn't just a one-off comment from Loren. His arrogant delusions continue. He buys another pair of Crocs for $3, which, if you do the math, is about 7% of his life savings right now.
Just to be careful because we need to spend your money in a good way.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
He buys Faith a dress. They stop at a towel stand and Loren offers to buy Faith another towel. Faith thinks it's too expensive for their budget, but Loren insists.
So it's 3 pesos and $2. I think this is too much. It's okay.
That's fine. Whichever three you want.
And what makes this whole situation even more awkward is that this whole time, Loren keeps bragging about how much cheaper everything is here in the Philippines and thinks that's because he's got some mighty superior American dollars that he can go out and buy anything he wants all day.
And the best thing about this market is the prices. Like in America, things are like 3 to 4 times the price. The first time in my life, I can afford to just spend money the whole day.
3 to 4 times cheaper. Yeah, I don't think he's done the math there. Meanwhile, the whole time throughout the market, Faith has been quite worried. Because, unlike Loren, she's actually capable of doing basic math and understands that Loren has already spent like half of his life savings.
He's just said he's no money and now he's spending like crazy at the market. He seems very impulsive. That worries me about our future together.
And yet, Loren continues framing this whole trip as some sort of fantasy land where he can easily provide for anything he and Faith ever want because of how cheap it is here.
3 to 4 times the price, spend money the whole day. It's one more reason why starting a life with Faith in the Philippines would be a great idea. Then I could just pay for whatever she needs, and we'd both just be happy.
Okay, with what money? He says he has $45 on him and his last paycheck coming in the mail soon, which can't be that much. And assuming he is not planning to have him and Faith live off that one paycheck for the rest of their entire lives, but knowing his comprehension of math so far, maybe that is his plan, then that would generally mean that Loren has to work to get his money. I'm guessing Loren's heard of the digital nomad movement and how people can work remotely their tech jobs from America, but live elsewhere in the world where rent is much cheaper and earn their fancy American dollars while only having to spend the local currency. And while he may have gotten the lower expenses part down, seems like he may have forgotten the whole earning American money thing. After the two of them get back from their day date, Loren gets dressed in his Sunday finest, aka his drag queen clothes, and the two of them meets one of Faith's closest friends and second mother, Mama Ding.
I know that Mama Ding is an important person to Faith, so getting to meet her is a really big deal.
They eat some chicken adobo and veggies, and God, that looks delicious. And after some small talk, Mama Ding then asks Loren what his plan is with Faith in the Philippines.
So, what is your plan?
My plan for...
Your plan for her. Faith?
And that's when Loren reveals his true intentions to Faith for the first time.
There's an idea where I don't just go home. I just stay here somehow. I could see myself living here.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Part of planning our future together, right? I mean, the cost of living is lower.
And in case it wasn't obvious from that face, Faith is shocked. Because remember, we all know that Loren is a broke homeless creep who wants to move his entire life to the Philippines to live like a king amongst a harem of cheap ladyboys, and allegedly to flee the country and avoid having to pay some kind of child payments. But that's a whole different story. But Faith's believed this whole time that their plan was to eventually move in together in America.
She thinks she's gonna move here, which is probably not gonna happen.
So hearing Loren say now that that is not his intention and actually kind of likes the idea of living in the Philippines instead is pretty shocking to say the least.
It's a big shock for me.
In fact, Loren always knew that that was Faith's intention and still conveniently never mentioned that until he arrived.
He always knew that I hoped to move to the US, and he never told me he wanted to leave her instead.
Why would you not even talk about that plan until you arrived if you weren't trying to use someone? Neither Faith or Mama Ding really understand Loren's motivation here, and when Mama Ding asks Loren why the two of them wouldn't just go to America together, Loren tells them very matter-of-factly that's because he's broke and homeless.
But the issue is how. Because in America, I'm homeless. I don't make enough money to afford to live anywhere.
Which is already a pretty dramatic and shocking thing to reveal to everybody. But can we just take a moment and appreciate just how inappropriate and insensitive his delivery is here? Because not only is he revealing these massive, gigantic plans to the family with a completely straight face, delivering it as if this is old news and everyone knows this already.
But the issue is how.
But could we imagine hearing this message in particular from Faith's perspective? You've been talking and dating with this guy online for a few months, and the first time they meet you in person, they tell you that their plan is to move across the world, live in your country, and start their entire life over together with you. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, of course, but I think most of us would want to be consulted on that a bit before he makes that decision. I don't remember consenting to adopting a child to take care of over here. His complete lack of any awareness that Faith should be an active participant in this conversation is frankly disturbing. Also, could you imagine telling this person that you want to take it slow, and the very next day they tell you that they're planning on moving across the world to live with you? But as if all that wasn't already bad enough, he's not just revealing that she is now adopting a child, but in this conversation, Loren also throws out all of Faith's plans of moving to America, like it was nothing. Everyone agrees this was not insider information. Loren definitely knew this whole time that that was Faith's plan. But all along the way, he says nothing until this moment to reveal that, well, I mean, yeah, that's impossible. I'm broke and homeless. Your dream, coming over to America? Yeah, I mean, that's not gonna happen.
She thinks she's gonna move here, which is probably not gonna happen.
The complete and utter lack of any empathy or awareness for how this news could be received by Faith. Just straight dumpstering all of her plans and replacing those plans with, I'm a fucking child, you're gonna have to take care of me here. This revelation immediately rings some alarm bells to Mama Ding, who now cleverly suspects that Loren may be using Faith for her finances.
Si Loren ginagamit niya si Faith. Kasi si Faith is a job stable. Kasi yun ang gusto niya.
And encourages Loren to maybe consider planning his life and his future, and reminds him that their economy here is not very good and would be difficult to find a job as a foreigner. And what does Loren think about all that?
If that were the plan that we chose, I could make it work.
I can make it work. Oh, how?
You get an online job. I just work from home. Because I could just do a computer job in America. I'd make American money in the Philippines.
No one's ever thought of that, Loren. The way he said it, he looks so smugly proud of himself. Like he's so confident, like, oh, trust me, this is the secret plan.
I've put a lot of thought into this. So one of my ideas is I get a computer job in the US and I just do it in the Philippines.
Okay, so I guess I was right. He has heard of the whole digital nomad thing, and he can just get a remote job, make a bunch of money, and all of his financial problems will be solved. Yeah, what are the odds that he's actually done any research on this and could actually get a job?
Do you have those skills?
So I have some IT training. I can answer a phone and take phone calls, and that'll be enough money for both of us, no problem.
He has some IT training, whatever that means. I kind of feel like he just knows how to open Microsoft Word and maybe knows how to send some emails through Outlook or something, and that's basic IT. So he thinks having a computer and being able to answer a phone is enough qualifications for an American company to pay him above minimum wage
16, 17 American dollars an hour.
and get him enrolled in payroll and certified and an official member of the company while dealing with him working remotely, not in the office, in the complete opposite time zone of the world. Yeah, who would do that? Also, if it was that easy, why is he working as a part-time stock boy in Vegas? Why not go get your fancy $17 an hour job there while you still live in America?
And if that doesn't work out, I could do pest control. I mean, I could do fast food. Drive a truck. There's so many opportunities.
Right, fleeing America to go to the Philippines for their economic opportunities. That makes sense and doesn't sound completely ignorant and privileged at all. Those seem like more realistic options, but then you have the problem with earning Filipino money with a Filipino job. And yet, the whole way through, here Loren is, smiling, being just, oh, there's so many opportunities. This will be so simple. I'll easily get a job where I can provide for everything with Faith and the two of us and happily ever after, forever and ever. Like, what are you talking about, man? Honestly, seeing all this, it starts to make me feel a little bad for the guy. Who knows how much of this is real, but if even half of it is real, then it just seems like this guy is so dumb that, of course, your life is not going to be in order. How do you plan effectively and critically think and manage your finances and your relationship? Like, just, am I punching down? Am I making fun of a guy who just can't do any better? I don't know. Maybe it's insulting for me to even think this way. I'm just going to move on. Despite all of these obvious red flags, Faith isn't too bothered by any of it and continues to stick by Loren, isn't worried about the money problem or the job problem, and is ultimately happy that she finally has a person that accepts her for who she is and her trans status.
I just want to find who will be the person to, accept me for who I am as a trans woman. That's why I don't mind to have not enough money.
Of course, all of us in our relationships, we ultimately just want to feel accepted and loved for who we are. I get that, but I really hope that that's not the main reason. It just kind of feels like he could have all the red flags in the world, but because she's never been accepted for being trans, that's now that Loren is accepting of that now she has to put up with all of his other bullshit because that's her only option.
I don't feel like Mama Ding thinks I'm the best option because, I told her I was homeless. But if I filled out the biggest box Faith has, but I feel like I answered the biggest questions correctly.
I don't know. I can't tell from watching. Only the two of them can really know. But I just really hope that that's not the case and that's not how Faith feels.
It's not easy to hear about all of this, but I'm relieved that he's finally being honest about his money. I just hope there are no more secrets.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a shame if this was only one of many terrible things he's been lying about this whole time? Well, now that I say it out loud, I guess there are like 3 other things. Let's get to one of those things right now on the last scene of the episode. Also, this is where I'll warn you that if you're eating or drinking anything, then maybe just put it down here for the last 5 minutes, because this is going to get pretty gross. The scene starts with us being greeted by shirtless, hairy Loren, where he explains that he woke up to a very troubling text. He explains that a week ago, he was out partying with one of his female friends.
About a week ago, I was out partying with one of my friends. She spends the night. It's great.
She spends the nights. They have some kind of sex. Because if you don't remember, Faith thinks they're in a monogamous relationship and he's not been in one and has been sleeping around this whole time and hasn't told her. So yeah, one of those lies that Faith is not looking forward to hearing. But then in the middle of the night.
And then in the middle of the night, she was when me.
And I have no idea what he just said. I've replayed this clip 100 times in slow motion trying to hear it or do some lip reading.
She was when me.
Best I could get is windmill F me. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Any lip reading experts out there, let me know below. Actually, maybe don't. I don't know if I want to know that. And he got a text from her this morning that, well, I'm going to make him say it.
For this morning, turns out she has gonorrhea of the throat, which means I most likely have gonorrhea of the penis.
Why are they zooming in? Why'd they have to zoom in on his junk as if we didn't know? Loren explains that this has not happened before to him and he's usually healthy, but explains there's been some, hey, if I had to listen to it, so do you.
But my penis is upset. You know, little discharge, that definitely happened. So now, today, we're gonna deal with that fun fact.
He's just so gross and creepy. Even when they kept zooming in, like, he's just so hairy in the tummy area. I'm not trying to body shame anybody. If it was anybody else but Loren, I'd just like, oh, that's kind of hairy. But it's just the conversation and the fact that he's talking about cheating on his partner because that's what it is. That when you see all the hair and the zoom, I'm just like, oh my God, so disgusting. And Loren tells us that he's worried about bringing this up with Faith. Because not only does he have to reveal an STD, which is pretty awkward, he also has to reveal that he has been cheating on her.
I don't know if she fully understands that I haven't been monogamous.
No, she doesn't fully understand because you've never said that. I hate how he frames this. I don't think she fully understands. No, she doesn't understand at all. And you know that because you haven't said that. He's framing it like maybe this is an up in the air thing and maybe she kind of gets it, but just not like to the extent like, no, you're cheating. You're cheating. Simple as that. Don't make up these lies about it.
I always planned on talking to Faith about having an open relationship once I got to the Philippines.
I've been lying to her throughout our entire relationship, but I was planning on once I got there and wasn't ever going to move back to America and she was stuck with me, then I was going to tell her the truth about my cheating.
This could be a huge step back. I want that Philippine dream, and I'm trying to make it come true.
I want that Philippine dream, whatever that's supposed to mean, and he's trying to make it happen. The way he says that certainly sounds to me like his top priority is living this fantasy life in the Philippines, escaping all financial problems, starting over. And that's the goal. Where does Faith fit into this? I haven't seen any mention in this entire scene of how this could make Faith feel. It's just, oh man, this will be really inconvenient for me and my plans to have to reveal this information to her. Ah, this is such bad timing. This will make it more likely that she rejects me and impedes my plans of fulfilling my Filipino dreams. Okay, but where in this whole situation is Faith an actual human being? Where does she exist at all except as a tool for you to get what you want? Which just makes me wonder, does he know or have an idea that maybe this would be a tough thing to bring up with Faith and is scared of the emotional repercussions and therefore delivers it with a sort of emotional distant callousness as some kind of defense mechanism? Like, yes, reveal the truth, but do it with such an emotional wall up that he can feel emotionally protected? Or is it just like how it has consistently seemed from him, at least in the editing, gotta give it credit, from the very first episode, that other people don't really exist, who gives a shit about them, and you only like them to the extent that they can increase the likelihood of you getting whatever you want out of life. Generally speaking, I assume most people are not that uncaring and just have their issues, and that's what we see on camera. And while I still hold out that might be true, from everything we've seen from Loren so far, it just certainly seems like he does not give a shit about anyone but him and his plans. What a piece of shit. Anyway, that's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you thought about Loren and Faith in the comments down below. A big thank you to all of you channel members for helping support this channel, with an extra special thank you to Nancy Jones for being a producer of this channel. And until next time, I'll see you later.